Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. If this is your first time checking out a video, please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're watching a clip of First Things First, talking about LeBron James. He came out and said that he's 50-50 on doing a farewell tour, which we know is nonsense. And he talks about how he doesn't do well with receiving praise, which is also nonsense. He lives for it. He lives for the applause. And I don't necessarily blame him, but this fake humbleness is absurd. He's made a comment where he said, like, maybe he'll just Tim Duncan it, which is like, just pretty much saying, all right, I'm retired, and then that's it, and then just do it after the season. We know he's not going to do that. We know he's going to have this massive farewell tour, and he's going to do all the jersey switches, and there's going to be, videos even in like the away arena, and it's gonna be this whole big thing, and he's gonna love every moment of it, and it's understandable. I don't even blame the guy for wanting it, but to act like you don't want it, that's nonsense, right? Like, I actually don't blame him for wanting it, and I think he deserves it. He's what he's done in the NBA for all this time, he deserves it. The only thing is that when Kobe famously did his farewell tour, the Lakers were nothing. And he was at the end of his career in the sense of, like, he just couldn't win anymore. It depends on where LeBron is, but if LeBron's actually competing for a championship, and like if Kobe was competing for a championship, that's not what it would be. Kobe wouldn't want to be doing no farewell tour. If Kobe felt that he could actually win a championship in that regard, he would not be messing around with that. It would be all business. Let's go. So that's really the real question is will LeBron be okay if he's having a farewell tour? That means is he conceding to the fact that he's not going to go out on top in that regard? Or is he going to do a farewell tour and be a complete distraction during the regular season when you actually have a chance at winning a championship? To me, those are the important questions. So let's see what they have to say, and we can break it down from there.
What are you guys laughing about? What are you laughing about?
I'm just surprised that surprised.
What are you surprised by?
That he doesn't feel comfortable accepting praise.
Well, you feel that way. You never like us to compliment you.
That's true, but I also don't start the show by putting in an imaginary. Hi, I'm Kevin Wilds.
That's true. Okay, go ahead.
Look, right. LeBron.
He literally has a tattoo, the chosen one, on his body. Calls himself King James.
I think he's been great at accepting praise. All right? And here's the thing, and you guys probably remember this. LeBron is the one that made the MVP speech for the NBA MVP award a thing. Like, before that, if you go back and remember, guys would, maybe be at their practice facility or before a game or something if they're still playing.
I remember Duncan got one wearing, like, Birkenstocks. And
it wasn't as big of a, the league would have their people there and they would give you the award. You'd say a little something. LeBron, and he did a fantastic job, but LeBron made it a production. And then KD took the baton and had his, she's the real MVP speech. So that's accepting praise. And I think that was great for LeBron because I think it should be that type of moment. He had it at his high school. Yeah. Hundreds of people there. Yeah. So I think there's that. But farewell tour, I think the challenging thing for LeBron is that, look, most of these guys, Kobe averaged 17 points on like 36% shooting his last year. Dr. J had been in a little bit of a decline. Last year averaged 16. Kareem was 17, then 14, then 10. Like, you could see it's over.
That's
all right,
correct.
right? And LeBron is still playing well enough where, if I'm him, I'm entering the season like, man, I don't know. Let's see how I do. Let's see how we do.
Brew, that's my exact answer. I don't think LeBron's going to choose against a farewell tour because he's going to find the adulation to be too much. I think that while maybe initially he was uncomfortable with it, he's maybe grown to figure out how to deal with it. I don't think he wants to box himself into an end date. Right. And so unless the only way I could see it happening would be if in a season, if in the final month of a year or 2 months, you see a significant, serious decline, or
possible,
if he suffers a significant injury that is not career-ending, but it's like, oh, okay, this is probably going to be it next year. But otherwise, I don't think Wilds LeBron wants to say, all right, you know what? I'm out after this year. And then that year, he's awesome. And then he's like, well, wait a minute. I want to keep going because there is, I know Brady did the retirement and come back and flirt with it again. There is an element of, if you do the 30 stadiums, to, you know what I mean, 30, the whole
better
thing,
not come back.
you can't really come back. And so I don't think LeBron is, I said this on the air a couple months ago and people made fun of me. I'll say it again. I don't think LeBron is going to play long enough to ever be bad. He might, you know what I mean? He will continue to decline a bit. But I think LeBron, if he plays 4 more years, I think he will be a positive contributor to winning all 4 years. I think he will be a fringe all-star level guy at worst all 4 years. I believe that. And so I don't think you're going to...
Fascinating. That's I don't disagree with you, and it's insane.
Well, it's
it'll be 43.
43 doing that.
Yeah, I mean, he just turned 39, and so and I don't think he's going to play 4 more years. My point is, I thought Brew's history lesson was useful. Like that, everybody else,
could see they were
and Dirk and Duncan as well. That final year, they were a totally different guy. And the only one who really wasn't was Karl Malone. He was a different guy that year with the Lakers, but he was still pretty good. But then he got hurt. And then that was over. Like
the other thing is Bronny. Like if Bronny doesn't come out this year, then if LeBron still really wants to play with him, you know, he doesn't know, okay, is he ready this year? Is he ready next? You know, so that there's that. And I would love to. I hope LeBron would take a farewell tour at some point. And I say this for him. He mentioned he'd love to do it for his fans and stuff. But look, LeBron has been the most scrutinized NBA player ever, if not American athlete. All right. And his career, I do think, and I alluded to this a week or two ago, it's been so much criticism.
Him, Jordan.
Yeah. It's like the whole career has been in the shadow and in comparison with Michael Jordan that I don't think it's been as great as he's been praised and all that. I don't think I would like him to really get the praise and adulation without it being about is he the GOAT.
The victory.
All right. This idea that LeBron's some sort of victim, that he doesn't get insane amounts of praise. It's like Cry Me a River. Yes, does he get a lot of criticism and back and forth? It's like Cry Me a River. My Lord, the guy's worshipped since he was like 12 years old. Okay, like I always love when you hear that line where he goes, "I'm not supposed to be here," and it's like you're where you're exactly supposed to be because you were literally born LeBron James. Okay, who grew to be, 6'8", 9", whatever the heck he is, and 200 and some pounds, and an absolute beast and a freak, and just one of the best basketball players to ever play. So you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So this idea that you weren't supposed to be here is just comical to me. Comical. And so yes, when you're that amazing, that great, you get criticism. Tom Brady gets criticism. Patrick Mahomes gets criticism. Tiger Woods gets criticism. Michael Jordan got criticism. I mean, I know we look back on it now and don't really see it that much, but again, it was a different era, different time, no social media. And so this idea that like LeBron needs a farewell tour just so we could so we could just get this like unconditional praise. I don't I don't know where this message got sent and how it's gotten copied a million times, but I hate to break the news to you guys if you don't know this, but you can't get everything you want. Life is not supposed to just be 100% perfection. This idea that LeBron James can just have everything he wants out of life, everything, the hundreds of millions of dollars, to be able to play until he is like 45, 12 championships, every single record, Hall of Fame, beautiful wife, healthy kids, his own personal health, and just universal praise no matter where he goes, and the thickest head of hair the world has ever seen. You can't have it all. You don't get it all. And if you're lacking some of those things, it's just like, that's just life, man. That's just life. So this idea that you should even feel bad for LeBron for certain aspects of his life is just comical. I mean, it is. It's really comical. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily what Brew's trying to do right now, where he's like trying to, muster up some sympathy towards him. But it is kind of feeling like that way. And I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for LeBron James at all. Okay? He lives one of the most amazing, blessed lives, as in his own words, he is the chosen one. Okay? Is there some adversity that he has to face? Yes. Is his adversity worse than someone who's making $40,000 a year, whose kid just got diagnosed with cancer? No. So this idea that his adversity, and that's why he deserves a farewell tour and it would be great for him to have, get out of here. Seriously, get out of here. That's such nonsense to me. Absolute positive nonsense. We know LeBron James wants a farewell tour. We know LeBron James will have a farewell tour. If anything, he'll probably document it, turn it into a documentary, docuseries, sell it on HBO or Netflix or whatever, make bank off it, boom. That's probably what will happen. And if it doesn't, then it is because, right, not wanting to be boxed in and he thinks he can win. And that's what I said at the top, which they were kind of somewhat highlighting about the other players. They were clearly getting worse, and so they knew that this was it. And those teams didn't have a chance at necessarily, really winning an NBA Finals. And I don't think that's what LeBron wants, right? LeBron probably doesn't want to have that final year where he's only putting up like 17 points. He's barely hanging on by a thread, and his team has no chance at winning, right? He just doesn't want that. He wants to try to win a championship and retire, right? He wants to go out on top in that regard. So that would be the only way that he wouldn't have a farewell tour, but I think he's going to want it. I think especially seeing how amazing the farewell tour was for Kobe, which, a lot of the NBA players who are playing now got to experience firsthand, right? They literally experienced it firsthand. But it was also a little bittersweet because Kobe's such an amazing basketball player. And then even he said in the press conference, they asked him, could you imagine a better ending than this? And because he put up, 60 or whatever. And it's like, he was like, yeah, I could have won a championship. That's how it could end better. So that's ultimately what LeBron kind of wants. But I don't know, because his son playing is such an interesting is such a wild card in this regard. A variable that we just don't know, because we don't know where his son's going to play, when his son's going to play, and what that looks like. But Rick Bucher on the Herd last week reported that the Lakers are going to draft or sign Bronny James. That's what he said. And he said it very matter of fact, like he knows for a fact that is what the Lakers are going to do. That they are going to draft him, and if he's undrafted, they'll sign him. Whether, he didn't say, I think that's what they will do. I mean, he said it very LeBron James is going nowhere. LeBron James is going to, retire with the Lakers, and Bronny's going to be there. And then it's just going to be him and his son, playing for LA, playing for the Lakers. So, that'll be interesting to see actually what happens with that. And I think that'll also have an effect on how LeBron exactly retires. Because it's weird, right? What if Bronny James gets drafted by, trying to think of the most random team I can think of. My God. The Brooklyn Nets. Is LeBron James going to go play for the Brooklyn Nets, and that's where he's going to retire? That's where he does a farewell tour, right? Because a farewell tour, he's going to be in a Brooklyn Nets jersey. It just feels weird. Putting up 19 points a game, I don't know what that does. I don't know if that's good brand. So it really will be interesting to see. Does he sacrifice some of that to be able to play with his son? It'll be interesting. But what do you guys all think? I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this one. If you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, please let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then definitely please let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.